With the release of Argylle in theaters this weekend, it marks the 8th film in Matthew Vaughn's filmography, and of course I wanted to go back and talk about each film here and rank them from worst to best. Now, my list isn't going to be the best list by any means, but I do want you guys to share your list in the comments section down below, and guess what? You're not going to believe what number 2 is, so you better stay tuned. Kicking off our list at number 8 is The Kingsman. Now, this film came out in 2021, and it stars Ray Fiennes here. I loved him as the leader of this new organization that's all about spying, and I think he's a good, cool choice for it, and he brings a lot of cool charisma, and he's a kind of one of those unexpected action stars. I thought it was pretty cool. However, this movie played the trailer way too much, and of course it tempered my expectations, and really I didn't see anything that I hadn't already seen from the franchise, and I just really wanted something a little bit more, and I kind of honestly wanted Taron Egerton, his third film, instead of getting this prequel film to an organization I was never really asking how did this organization start. I just assumed it did. So unfortunately for me, The Kingsman is kind of a bottom pick for me, and it's something that I never really wanted to rewatch at all. Now, number 7 on my list is Stardust, a film I recently watched in preparation for this list, and it's an adventure fantasy film, and it's about retrieving this star and its journeys into this land of magic. The leading actor is Charlie Cox. It's kind of fascinating. I can only see Daredevil now, so it's always fun to see him pop up in different roles. I can never stop seeing Daredevil. But it also has the great Bob De Niro here as well. It's a fun, entertaining movie. I'm not sure I'm going to watch it again, but it's definitely cool to see him really do something different right before he jumps right into these big spectacle films like we're going to be talking about relatively soon. Number 6 on my list is Argylle, his latest entry into this spy espionage thriller with a satirical twist. It has some really fun and promising moments here and has a really big cast, and there was some fun to be had, but I feel like the movie is just overly long and it relies too much on plot twists and conveniences. And the length really hurt the film for me because they padded it out with all these different twists, and it really took the fun satirical moments away from the film, and it kind of hurt it. It was fun to see Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell's performances here, and Dua Lipa and Henry Cavill also sharing the screen is also really fun as well. So check it out if you're interested. All right, before I get on to my number 5 pick, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and share your guys' list in the comments section down below if you're liking the video. Number 5 on my list is the first film Matthew Vaughn directed, and that is Layer Cake, starring Daniel Craig, where I truly believe this was his audition to getting the role of James Bond. Now, this film very much feels like a Guy Ritchie film like Snatch or A Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. It is a British crime film where a lot of different moving characters and a lot of parts, and they're trying to get these pills. And there's going to be some hijinks and some double crossing here. It's a fun little plot twisty little movie here. Definitely not overly extravagant with this action here, but it is fun seeing a character played by Daniel Craig who doesn't like violence having to going into that kind of world too. It's fun to see it. I think Guy Ritchie does it better, but it's also a good attempt by Matthew Vaughn into this genre of British mob films. Number 4 on my list is The Kingsman: The Golden Circle, a film that I haven't really watched too much since its original release date, and I think the trailer did spoil the cool surprise we would have got in theaters if they didn't show it, which is the return of Colin Firth's character Harry in this franchise. But we do see Taron Egerton back here, and he is very fun. It's definitely a lot bigger. The stakes are raised from the first entry, and we do see the American version of The Kingsman here we see, Channing Tatum show up. We see Pedro Pascal in a kind of an early big role here as well, and Julianne Moore plays our villain, which is kind of a fun villain to have, and I liked some of the places that we did go. The action's really fun. It's a movie that I haven't rewatched since really the theater, but I definitely need to get another rewatch in here and talk about this film again, because I remember liking a lot of stuff here, but there was things that just rubbed me the wrong way, and weird places it did take it, but I do want to see a third Kingsman. Number 3 on my list is Kick-Ass. It's a Cager movie. I absolutely love seeing Nicolas Cage as Big Daddy in this movie, but we're really talking about Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's the star of it. This is before he was in multiple superhero movies like Kraven and X-Men and all that stuff, and even Avengers. However, we are seeing him in this role as Kick-Ass. It's a film that is criminal that we didn't get a third film here either. I love Kick-Ass 2, but the first film really sets up this universe, and I like his back and forth with Christopher Mintz-Plasse, who plays Red Mist here, and seeing a young Chloe Grace Moretz as Hit Girl is fantastic. She's a great kind of a hero there as well. A lot of interesting characters, especially talented actors that are before their prime acting stages too. It's fun to see Kick-Ass, and it's cool to see this film again. So check out Kick-Ass if you haven't seen it in a while. And number 2, X-Men First Class. Now, a lot of people may have this as his favorite film, and I think this film is really, really good. I think that James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender's performances of young Charles Xavier and Eric Lancer, aka Magneto, I think they were perfectly cast, and I think that is the best thing from this recent X-Men movies that we have gotten. I'm a big Days of Future Past fan. I think that's by far the one of my favorite X-Men movies, but First Class is up there for sure. I like a lot of the different character actors. I think that a lot of the interesting mutants in this film don't get a lot of screen time because there's so many characters in this movie. I like seeing how we get the relationships between Charles Xavier and Eric here, and seeing them kind of build their their early days and how they're incorporating their mutant abilities. We also got to talk about the awesome portrayal of Kevin Bacon's villain character, Sebastian Shaw. Really enjoy him. Kevin Bacon's fantastic, and seeing him in there and in a role that you wouldn't actually think him as a villain here, but he plays it really well, and it's a good foe to our kind of heroes in the X-Men universe. It's a really awesome film that plays a little differently than any other Matthew Vaughn action movie, because there's not these big extravagant over-the-top action sequences. They feel really grounded in that X-Men universe, which is fun. But seeing where a lot of these cool, interesting mutant characters' stories go, we don't get a whole lot of development with and spend too much time with everyone. There's just a lot of characters here. And there's also some really kind of bad performances that do kind of hold it down for me. And that's kind of nitpicky, yes, but I had to pick which one do I like the best. And of course, number 1 is going to be The Kingsman: The Secret Service is by far my favorite Matthew Vaughn movie. The introduction of Taron Egerton's character of Eggsy is awesome. It's a character that is totally anti-authority, but becomes into this establishment as Kingsman as a perfect kind of outside-the-box thinker for this organization, which is fun. Colin Firth's portrayal of Harry is an unexpected action star we never knew we needed until the year this movie came out, which was 2014. He was awesome as Harry. The church sequence alone is one of my favorite Matthew Vaughn directed movie scenes ever. It plays really well, especially with the music going on. And Samuel L. Jackson's villain with the lisp, the over-the-top explosions near the end, a lot of the fun little set pieces and musical choices he does with the fun action sequences here. And Sophia Botella is someone we need to talk about too. Her assassin with the no legs but their blades. It plays really well. It's completely over the top ridiculous, but also a lot of fun. So The Kingsman for me is by far my favorite Matthew Vaughn film. Well, that's my thoughts, takes, and opinions on Matthew Vaughn's directed movies. All 8 of them ranked here in this video. So make sure you guys check this video out right below me. That is my review of Argylle. And check the video right next to it out as well. You may enjoy that one too. Until next time, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I will see you later.